Hey man,
I said, how you doing?
I'm okay. Have you recovered from yesterday?
I think I'm doing
Pardon?
fine. I'm doing fine. I think I'm doing fine given the circumstances. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was checking out the table yesterday, and your team is at number four. And though I was reading a headline that Punjab can qualify if they win the last two games, but as we've seen with this IPL, it's so unpredictable that if you all win the next match and if Punjab probably, yeah, don't only win one match out of the two, then obviously you'll will obviously qualify. And then the way Rajasthan Royals are playing, I mean, anything can happen, you know. And I'd love to see Rajasthan Royals lose tomorrow because I think they're playing, who's that team now? I think they're playing against Lucknow Super Giants. The way Lucknow is playing, I can expect another win there for Lucknow. So, yeah, man, it was good to see. My team actually getting over the line in one of the matches. I forget which result it was. It still gives my team like half a heartbeat of qualifying, but obviously many people are writing it off. So hopefully surprises do happen.
Yeah, I mean, I will usher the sentiments what Gaurav Kapoor said in Crickbuzz last night. I mean, I watched a
Yeah,
bit of it.
I like Gaurav
So this
Kapoor.
is turning into a spicy
Yeah,
meatball,
Meaty
spicy,
Ball.
spicy meatball sort
Yeah,
of week in the
yeah.
IPL. So I mean, it is what it is. Eh? Look, with the way RCB played on Sunday against Sunrisers, where they were absolutely
Hmm.
fantastic in all departments, completely outplayed Sunrisers.
Hmm.
Yesterday's performance was really the complete opposite of
Hmm.
that. I mean, completely outplayed in all
Hmm.
departments. And, the worrying thing for me this season has been the form of
Hmm.
Kohli. I've spoken about it
Yeah.
previously, and I think there's a few senior players in the RCB side that haven't been punching
Hmm.
above their weight, and hence they're in this of a situation. Because, uh, I mean, a fired up Kohli or a Kohli that's going to give you 350, 400 runs, RCB would be in the playoffs
Yeah.
right now. They wouldn't really have to wait till the last game. They would be in the
Hmm.
playoffs
Yeah.
spots, as we speak.
Yeah. I
So, I
mean,
mean, there's a few things that went wrong this season.
yeah.
Um, I think they look back here, and I think there's a few things that went wrong, and I think it starts at the top of the order with the youngster that they brought in, Rawat. I don't think he's really live up to expectation.
Hmm.
I think Padikal was probably a better option, and they could have retained Padikal because what we've seen from Rawat has not been good at
Yeah.
all. It's been quite
Yeah. But it
ordinary.
is.
So that's really
Hmm.
hampered. And then Kohli, obviously his form has been poor the entire tournament, and it's doing RCB no favors, really harming them.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can Faf bail you out? How many times can Karthik bail you out? How many times can Maxwell bail you
Yeah.
out? There's only so many times these
Hmm.
players can come to the party and bail team out. Unfortunately, Kohli is a senior player and he hasn't delivered. And the other player that's been really, really disappointing for me this year has been
Yeah.
Siraj.
Definitely. Definitely.
Uh,
I'm surprised he wasn't dropped. You know.
he hasn't. Yeah, I mean, look,
I would have dropped him after like halfway in the competition, you
I
know, just to
think,
give him some time to think things over, like how they've done with other players, and they've come back great. So, hmm.
yeah, I mean, look. After the IPL of last year, I think the two best bowlers in the KK in the RCB side were okay. I mean, with Chahal as well. I think they were the top three bowlers.
Hmm.
Siraj, obviously Harshal was fantastic, and Chahal.
Hmm.
So Siraj was really on the way up. He really was one of the most improved bowlers in the IPL. And I gotta say it, but after the South African
Hmm.
tour, his form has really taken a
Yeah,
dip. There's something that went wrong
yeah.
here in SA. I gotta bring it up. Something that went
Mm.
wrong on tour, and he has looked pretty ordinary
Mm.
ever since.
Mm.
I don't think he's had a good stint in any of the games this IPL, and
Mm.
that's hurting RCB because he's an open bowler. And I mean, Hazelwood is not going to have a
Yeah,
good day every day. I mean, you gotta understand the
yeah,
nature of
yeah,
the
yeah.
competition. There's gonna be days where you're gonna be good for runs, so you need the other bowlers to actually support
Mm.
you. And unfortunately, we haven't seen that support from Siddharth because Hazelwood had a bad day
It happened.
yesterday, and uh,
Mm.
and Siraj had a bad. And the two bowlers that actually bailed them out to an extent were Harshal
Mm.
and Hasaranga, who I think is the bowler of the tournament at the
Mm.
moment. And wow, as he proved the critics wrong in the last couple of games, he's really been the find of the tournament for me.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, look, before yesterday, destiny was in their
Mm.
hands, and after yesterday, unfortunately, destiny is out of their hands
Yeah,
at the
now they have
moment.
to
All they can do is win their last game,
and
and
rely on results.
that either Delhi.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're potentially looking over your shoulders, and I mean, by no means were we saying that this IPL was going to be
Yeah.
straightforward. I think the emergence of Rajasthan Royals in this IPL has really made it a little bit more
Mm.
difficult because they've taken a lot of points from good
Mm.
sides that they probably haven't taken in the past. I mean, the points they took off RCB uh, earlier on is proving to be crucial at the moment because, I mean, if RCB
Mm.
had won that game, they would have been on 16
Mm.
now. So it's proving to be really, really
Mm.
crucial, and it's a sort of it's a sort of traffic jam that you have now in the mid table. Uh, by no means, I don't think anybody's apart from the top two. I would say Lucknow
Gujarat
and
Titans.
Gujarat. Obviously, they've qualified the tournament.
Yeah, officially it's Gujarat, but
Look,
yeah, but unqualified. I mean, unofficially we could say. I mean, definitely if we start jumping this fixture list, because I know Lucknow played against Rajasthan Royals tomorrow. So should they win that tomorrow, then officially they'll be qualified. And I think we should start wearing our Lucknow hats. We should start wearing the flag because should they beat Rajasthan really bad, that could really dent the net run rate, and that will get your team into the mix. So, yeah, man, we should start supporting Lucknow.
yeah, as I said, it's going to be a spicy meatball sort of final week. The thing is, Rajasthan, probably based on their form, they would have probably been home and dry by now,
Mm.
but they're not. They've lost quite a few games
Mm.
along the way, and they've lost some crucial
Mm.
games. So they're in the situation where they're going to play the second place
Yeah.
side, who actually are riding high and have one of the best bowling
Mm.
attacks in the
Yeah.
tournament. Uh, they did to KKR the other
Mm.
day. I mean, I don't want to bring that up because that was a real sort of a hammering. But yeah, I mean, this is a side that has a great bowling
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Chamira, you've got is it Bishnoi? You've got Bishnoi as well. So
Yeah, it's funny you should brought that up because KKR has to play Lucknow again, and damn, they have to really buck up. They have to actually beat Sunrisers today, which I do believe can happen. And then Lucknow is the one that gave us a hiding. So, although I have a theory, right? If Lucknow can qualify by tomorrow, then I'm thinking they'll probably relax a bit, and then KKR can take advantage of that. Then anything can happen with God's will. But that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
I suppose. Look, KKR. It's been an interesting tournament for KKR, I'd say. They've had their ups in the beginning, and then they've probably tumbled down the mountain a bit. So, I mean, Pat Cummins has gone home. So it looks like KKR are not really sort of, too invested in it at the moment. But however, they still have a crucial role. They still have a crucial role.
Yeah, if you watch that cricket, I think Joy Bhattacharya mentioned that Cummins had the injury coming into the IPL, and then I don't think KKR even believe themselves they're kind of in the running. That's why they didn't want to risk too much with Pat Cummins. That's why they let him go home to recover. imagine how funny it would be if these results go really KKR's way, and then will they call Pat Cummins to come back? Nah, I don't think they'll do that. They'll just use whatever best talent they have, and then I think KKR are more like a tournament team. Like if they make the playoffs, you've seen how good they are, like how they were last year. So it all makes that playoff situation happen. But it's all like a lottery now, and even I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be honest here. I mean, they haven't had the best tournaments. I think there's been too much changing. But as I said, they still play a crucial role in who's going to get that fourth spot or sit. So, I mean, there's a lot to play for. I mean, this game today, it might not look like much of a game, but to me, it's a really, really important game because I'm going to be rooting for KKR all the way here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that's funny. Okay, minus 0.03. So rather than 3 games remaining, right? They'll get 6 points to win the last 3 games. That takes them to 16. Obviously, net run rate will be better than yours. I see why you would support KKR. If they lose today, then they could only get 14. So makes sense. But I appreciate the support for KKR.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to Sunrisers. Also, a very interesting tournament. They started off on some low, and then they won on such a high for 2 weeks. And it seems like things are falling apart for Sunrisers at the moment. Team selection, injuries. I just feel they haven't got their combinations right, especially in the batting front. So, a lot of food for thought for them. I mean, their captain hasn't been. He can't buy a run at the moment. He's probably in that Kohli sort of moment. So, I mean, there's a lot of senior players in this IPL that haven't stepped up. Eh? It's definitely been the younger players that have actually stepped up in this IPL, which is good to see. Which is good for Indian cricket and good for world cricket, but disappointing because I mean, your youngsters are not going to be stepping up every single game. You're going to have those games where your senior players have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Get you over the line and have to deliver the goods. And from RCB's point of view, we haven't seen enough of it, and hence they're in this situation. Kohli, I think he definitely needs a break. It seems like there's personal issues brewing there as well, and that's really affecting his game. So he needs a break. I think they've probably overworked him. And Siraj as well, because Siraj is out of his depth at the moment as a bowler. And look, it's the final game. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't want to make any changes. They'd probably want to go in with the same squad. But I think they've probably got to rethink their strategy next season, RCB, because I mean, a guy like Rutherford, quite a decent player, quite a handy ball striker, hasn't been getting a chance in this tournament. Willie, I mean, very capable with bat and ball, hasn't been given a chance much. So, I think a few puzzling selections as well from RCB. I think because they were winning recently, that they probably kept a lot of passengers in their side. But I think it's showing up now, especially yesterday. It showed up that there's some players that really need to push their weight, because I think the RCBs, there's a few players that are carrying these players around and just making them members of the squad. Don't deserve to be in the starting lineup given how they performed. So Kohli is one of them. Siraj, obviously senior player, he was retained by the Royal Challengers. I mean, if you're going to be retained as a player, I mean, you're obviously one of the seniors. You know, they really have high hopes for you, and I don't think he's repaid that. So
I'm surprised they retained him over
RCB.
Chahal would have been a better retention. Yeah,
I think absolutely. But I mean, to be fair to you, I mean, Hasaranga has done an amazing job. I think probably done the job that Chahal would have done. He's been amazing. He's been amazing, Sid. he's definitely the bowler of the tournament for me because I just
Yeah,
think
but it's funny because
the way he's bowled, especially in some pressure.
yeah, but it's funny because you used to bash him because you weren't a fan of him, but now you've become a Hasaranga fan.
Yeah, he had a slow start. Let's be
Sorry, I
honest.
can't hear you there.
But I think when he started suiting him, he had a slow start. We got to be honest about that. He had a very slow start. But when he started getting his groove and the pitches started, giving him that purchase, he's been formidable. And I mean, even yesterday, that innings from Punjab wasn't very good watching for me. It was very painful to watch. But the one shining light there was Hasaranga. Hasaranga bowled superbly. I mean, 4 overs for 15 runs, 2 wickets. I mean, that is a fantastic return for a side that was getting bashed all over the park by Punjab. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit wary about that game because, I mean, I knew the threat that Punjab posed and they really had to win that game. And, my worst nightmares were obviously were created yesterday on Friday the 13th. So, not good memories for me. And I hope the next game is a much better one. So, yeah, RCB has got to pull their socks up now. Final game against Gujarat Titans. It's not negotiable to win this, and possibly, I mean, looking at the last spots available, I mean, I think Lucknow is probably home and dry. I think so. I mean, they've got 16 points. They've got a pretty good run rate as well. Net run rate. So I think they're pretty done and done. Going to be interesting to see how Rajasthan perform, because if Rajasthan lose tomorrow, then wow, all of a sudden there's 2 places up for grabs and not 1. So that's going to be a really interesting game to watch.
I hope so.
And so I mean, I can't see. I can definitely see more points drop. I really can't see a team really going all the way and winning all the remaining games, because that's just this year's tournament just proven that is not the case. So I'm hoping for the best leading to the final week. So yeah, that's my 5 cents at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if I just go through the games quickly, tomorrow is Chennai versus Gujarat Titans. It's a bit of a pointless game because whoever wins. I mean, all it does that if Titans win, they'll definitely be officially confirmed top 2 spot, top 1 or 2, and then you have Lucknow's Rajasthan Royals, which is the most exciting one. Even though I'm not a fan of KL Rahul, I'll definitely be flying the flag for him. And then if you go to the match like Punjab and Delhi Daredevil, now that's a spicy meaty ball. That's a good match to watch. I remember Daredevil beat Punjab pretty bad, so I hope Punjab do beat them. One, because I like to see a new team make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, they did.
In the worst case scenario. Yeah, and then if you go to Mumbai and Sunrisers, that's another spicy meaty ball kind of match, depending on how Sunrisers play. And then I hope Mumbai win that. And then you have my team against Lucknow. Gosh, KKR, we have to win today. Otherwise, this match against Lucknow is pointless as well. So I think I'm mostly going to go with the heart, KKR. And then you look at Thursday's match, which is your team against the Titans. That's a really spicy meaty ball. And then I think...
Well, look, Gujarat Titans might be resting a few players by then. So let's see what happens. They probably might have a top spot secured by then. I mean, as you said, tomorrow is a pretty pointless game against CSK. I mean, who would even want to watch that sort of game? I mean, really. It's really pointless. But Lucknow and Rajasthan, that's a really interesting one, hey?
I like... Okay.
I'm going with my heart here, and I'm going with Lucknow, because I think Lucknow have a really decent bowling attack. And they might not have the best team on paper, hey? If you look at teams, they probably don't have the best team on paper, but they probably played above their weight. Would you say in this tournament they really pushed above their weight? I can say. I think Gujarat Titans, you'd probably say they have a pretty good
Um,
side on paper. Definitely, if you look at
it's
Gujarat
funny you
fighting
say
team.
that because the experts don't feel that way. They feel Gujarat's been the team that's been pushing above their weight. They feel the other way around. That Lucknow's got a better looking team than Gujarat, so they've been having the reverse feelings than that you have. I feel.
Look,
Hmm.
look. Uh, there's a lot, there's a quite a few. There's quite a few. What can I say? Impact players in Gujarat's team, and former winners of the IPL. I mean, likes of Rashid, likes of
Hmm.
Pandya. So that is why I actually put them ahead of a side like Lucknow, where uh, you don't really have these superstars. I mean, apart from like KL Rahul, but I mean, if you look at the rest of their side, there's not really there's no one to really
Hmm.
like actually give you that wow factor about them. I mean, Stoinis obviously is a great finisher in
Yeah.
T20 cricket. I mean, you could probably say he's one of them, but obviously, I think KL Rahul has got a much bigger reputation than
Yeah.
Stoinis in the game. I mean, over all formats. So, I'd say KL Rahul is probably their one world class player. And I mean, obviously, you've got De
Hmm.
Kock as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say, yeah, probably Gujarat has the better side on
Yeah.
paper. But I mean, Lucknow have really, really performed admirably in this tournament. Uh, so, I mean, Rajasthan, wow, they've really fallen down the ladder a bit, eh?
Yeah.
As I said. So this is going to be an
Yeah.
interesting one.
Because should you
Uh,
actually win on Thursday, that'll catch you to 16, and should Rajasthan lose tomorrow, and hopefully pretty badly, because if they lose very badly, then it makes it interesting into the net run rate. Then they got Chennai on Friday. I just hope Chennai are really a party poopers and beat them. And then you got Mumbai and Daredevil, which is okay. Actually, I won't talk about those matches because those matches are on a Saturday next week. So let's just stop up to Friday. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be some interesting fixtures, eh? Uh, Sorry, Mumbai is playing Delhi, am I
Uh,
right? When are
they're
they playing
playing
Delhi?
Daredevil on next week Saturday, so I don't want to go that far ahead. But yeah, I don't want to go that far.
It's 1 week away, but I just have to say that's a massive game. That is a massive
Hmm.
game for
For
these
Daredevil,
playoffs.
definitely.
I mean, if Mumbai can do their thing there, then they potentially knock Delhi out. They potentially knock Delhi out of the running. So yeah, I mean, it's nerve-wracking, eh? It's nerve-wracking. But I mean, if RCB don't qualify, I think they only have themselves
Hmm.
to blame. I think they've been a bit inconsistent
Hmm.
this year, especially up the order. I mean, the last 2 seasons, I think they've had pretty decent, um, sort of contributions up the order with Padikal, and Padikal was superb for 2 seasons,
Hmm.
and Kohli as well. He didn't have such a bad season last year. Maxwell was really on
Hmm.
fire last season, and I think that was one of the reasons why RCB was so successful last season, especially in the groups phases. So this year is probably a bit of pill
Hmm.
to swallow. Uh, you've got to be honest. I mean, if I'm looking at the side, uh, they're not if you look at their batting lineup and the score that they had to chase is 209. It doesn't come across as a batting lineup that's going to score the 209. They're not this swashbuckling kamikaze sort of unit that's going to be chasing 209. They're not that sort of team. They're a bowling side. RCB is definitely a bowling side this year. Their strength is
Hmm.
their bowling. They're sort of a side that can chase 160, 170, but I think if it's 190 and above, I think it's definitely game over for them. I don't think they have that power hitting to actually chase that sort of huge totals, down, and we got to be conscious of
Hmm.
that. So I think probably the makeup of the side is probably going to be bowling this year, and probably looking as that being the strength. And to be fair, that has been their strength, and the bowlers have kept them in this tournament. And I mean, the bowlers just had one
Hmm.
bad day yesterday, but you really can't batter them because the bowlers have been the ones that have kept them in this game and in this tournament. I mean, they were so superb
Hmm.
against CSK. They were superb against
Hmm.
the Sunrisers. So. Uh, yeah, I think they probably got to go back to their strengths, which is
Like,
defending totals.
like
That is RCB's
so they
strength,
pick,
batting first, putting a total
yeah,
on the board,
yeah, they,
and defending it. That is RCB's
yeah.
strength. And look, I was a little bit perplexed yesterday with Faf's decision
To chase,
have a
yeah.
bowl first and chase,
Hmm.
because I mean it's a pressure game. I mean, you really don't want to, but in a way, I could see that it was going to be difficult, and he backed his bowlers because if you looked at it, it wasn't going to be an easy ground to defend a score as well. I mean, very small boundaries, but unfortunately, RCB lost too many wickets in the middle there, and that's just like probably put an end to their chase. There was a bit of hope when Patidar and Maxwell were at the crease, but I think once they both were dismissed, I think
Yeah.
it was
Hmm.
goodbyes. And I think Karthik's dismissal was probably the nail in the coffin
Yeah.
yesterday, because I think all they had to do was take it deep. I mean, if they needed 15 of the last 3 overs, they probably would have backed themselves to get it. So, yeah, a bit of a team in, but unfortunately, the batting hasn't been good enough. The batting has been short.
Hmm.
It's been a bit of uh, a I'd say a pretty inexperienced batting lineup. If you look at most of the batters in that side lineup, pretty inexperienced. Minus the like of, say, Kohli and Faf. I mean, if Kohli and Faf scores runs, that really sets the tone, because I think they probably have one of the best opening stance partnerships that you can have in this IPL, but just haven't delivered. So, yeah, if RCB don't qualify, I think the batting is probably the one thing that that's obviously made them fall short here. So uh, I'm sure they'll go back at the end of the season and review it and come back much more harder next season. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Eh?
I mean, I'm only looking at this, and I don't want to jump too much ahead, but the moment Daredevil's match only looks good if Daredevils beat Punjab. Otherwise, it's another pointless match. And if you look at the Punjab and Sunrisers, that's only a good match if Punjab beats Daredevil, and then they have that chance of qualifying. So that's how I look at it. It could be either two exciting matches to watch, or I think it could be one out of two exciting matches to watch. I don't think it'll be both duds, but one of those two will be dud matches to watch.
Yeah, I think at the moment I wouldn't be too happy. I wouldn't be too sad if probably Punjab make it. I think
I thought Daredevil was your second favorite.
yeah. Look, I'm looking at records so far, and you know they qualified for the last three. I think last three editions they got out of the group, and made the playoffs. I think last three or last four. Delhi, so they've been on this. They've been on a good roll the last
Hmm.
couple of years, and so have RCB. RCB have been pretty consistent in getting out of the
Hmm.
groups in the last couple of years. I think Houston has done superb at RCB, but unfortunately this season, I don't necessarily think they had the best up in the playoffs as we speak. They wouldn't take this to the last game, so
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Eh? I mean, I fancy Rajasthan. I mean, a lot, but I mean, by the way they played this season, they were really exciting to
Hmm.
watch.
Hmm.
Uh, But looking at the way things are going at the moment, and the way they're playing, I mean, you really can't take anything for granted. They could be the ones that probably are going to
Hmm.
fall off the horse here. They keep
Yeah.
plummeting like this. So it's going to be interesting, hey. So yeah, I mean, I guess if Punjab qualified, it wouldn't be a bad thing for
Yeah.
cricket, for the IPL,
Definitely.
because to see an obviously a new a new team in
Yeah,
the playoffs. But
three newbies.
I think I think probably from a viewership point of view, I think probably not one of the fancy sides to have got to the playoffs. So I think the viewer ratings might drop a bit there. But yeah, let's see what happens. I think Delhi probably with RCB probably look like they're like the forerunners, probably look like the favorites to claim that that fourth spot at the moment. I think Rajasthan will probably qualify in third position at the moment. So yeah, it's between Delhi and it's between RCB at the moment. So if Delhi drop one and RCB win, it's RCB's. If Delhi keep on winning, I think it's case closed. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I just got to hope that CSK are party poopers because obviously I can't fancy Lucknow to win tomorrow. Yeah, man, it's amazing how KL Rahul, not really the best captain in the world, but I think if you have a decent enough team, it makes it probably easier to captain because I think when he was with Punjab, I think there was too much Mahabharat going on with his head. So I think it's easier to probably captain Lucknow. That's just my theory on it all.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, Butler has been such a superb player this IPL, and I think it's be a real shame if Rajasthan don't qualify for the playoffs, given how well he's played this year. It'll be a real shame if Rajasthan don't make it. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't always go your way, eh? And that has been nature of this season. And it's been a lot tougher. There's been two new teams and two new competitive sides that have made things really difficult for the rest. So that is why a lot of teams find themselves in the situation where they have to fight, fight for their lives here in order to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I could actually see your team along with either Delhi or Punjab actually making that playoff, which wouldn't actually be a bad thing. I'd rather see Punjab in the playoffs because I've never seen him ever be in a playoff before.
Yeah, but yeah. But Punjab have obviously got to beat Delhi, am I right?
Yeah, man, and that's the problem because Delhi beat them very badly the last time. But I think Punjab's key to beating Delhi is to probably put Delhi into bat first and then chase. Don't bat first against Delhi. Because although I think Delhi haven't been the best, although they did chase very well last night, so I think it'll be interesting to see how Delhi does it batting first. And then I'm not against Delhi. They are one of my favorite teams along with Punjab. I have a number of favorites. I mean, obviously Sunrisers and who else is there? Rajasthan and others just don't connect with me very well. But though Rajasthan keep losing, there's always possibility there. So I'll be praying for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that they lose the next two. But I mean, boy, if they do, wow! You've got two spots up for grabs all of a sudden. So, I mean, we can hope for that. But I mean, looking at the way Rajasthan are playing this year, I mean, they've been a bit up and down. But I mean, there's probably enough in the tank to win one of those two games. So, I mean, let's see what happens, eh? But I'm looking at the Delhi and Mumbai game. That's really going to be a crucial game. That is really going to be a crucial game all of a sudden. That's a massive game. That is a massive game.
I want to determine the last time. I think Delhi won that the last time, if I could remember. Because Mumbai haven't won that much this season.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, look, Mumbai just want to have fun. They just want to have fun at the moment. So I think they're just going to go out there and
they just
exactly party poopers. And I think that's dangerous for a lot of teams. I mean, you don't want to be playing. There's two teams you don't want to be playing at the moment: is CSK and Mumbai, because they have absolutely nothing to lose.
And Mumbai is starting to.
So they're just going to give it.
Mumbai started to get momentum. The way they beat CSK pretty bad. They bowled them out for 97. Fine, they chased with a bit dodgy, but it's fine. Win is the win. I think Mumbai will be a lot better for next year.
Absolutely.
They'll be back.
Yeah, I mean that Mumbai Indians bowling attack has been pretty lethal in the last couple of games. So I think you've got to be wary of that bowling attack. I think whoever's playing them, I think Sams is on top of his game at the moment. So and Bumrah as well. I mean, wow, Bumrah was
Yeah.
superb, even against KKR. So I wouldn't want to be playing Mumbai at the moment, Sid, whoever they are. I mean, I wouldn't want to be playing Mumbai. Mumbai look a pretty dangerous side at the moment because they have got nothing to lose.
Mm.
So, I mean, by no means is that a given for any side. So, yeah, it's a real hangama sort of situation.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's my
Everybody's
line. Oh, God.
everybody is in at the moment. Hey,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I mean, I really can't explain what's going on. It's just been insane.
Mm.
Honestly,
Mm.
I mean, games that you probably expected teams to win, they
Mm.
went and lost, and games that you wouldn't expect them to win, they probably won.
Mm.
And yeah, that is why I mean, you have teams in the
Mm.
situation. I mean, if you look at RCB, I mean, there was no way that they should have dropped any points against a team like Hyderabad. I mean, over the season, they probably should have beaten them twice. They probably should have beaten Rajasthan Royals twice as well, because I mean, they had Rajasthan in all sorts of problems in the second encounter, and you know, restricting them to
Mm.
140. They probably should have
Yeah,
chased that
yeah,
down.
that was disappointing.
Look,
Yeah,
it's
that
been
was
really.
disappointing. Um, oh, hello?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really crazy. It's been a bit of a
Yeah,
helter-skelter sort of
yeah, I
tournament.
can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me? Yeah. So I mean, as you said, the senior players haven't stepped up for a lot of
Mm.
these teams, and that is why they're in
Mm.
the situation. So yeah, come what may. But I mean, if RCB don't qualify, I mean, we all know where the
Mm.
problem lies. Definitely not in the bowling. The problem lies in the
Mm.
batting department. So that is what they need to strengthen next season,
Mm.
because I think going forward they have a pretty decent bowling
Mm.
attack that can beat and the best sides on their day. So from the bowling front, I'm not too concerned, because I mean, even after yesterday, I mean, you're gonna have those games. Let's be honest, you're gonna have
Yeah.
those games where you're gonna go for you're gonna concede 200. You're gonna have those games. It's inevitable. But
Mm.
you're gonna have those games where your batters need to really step up and get the team over the
Yeah.
line. So that is where the problem has been, and it hasn't been the bowling. So yeah, that is my only concern going forward and into next season as well. So yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment.
Yeah,
Hey,
on a final note before we wrap off, KKR actually chose to bat against Sunrisers, so that's interesting. But I guess it must be one of those weird pitches where you probably got to bat first, make about 160, and then defend it with all your might. So I'm probably predicting that. Remember, it kind of reminded of the Mumbai match where they made a similar score and then they blew them away. So hopefully, it's another result like that. Oh, they're playing.
sorry, where are they playing at the moment?
Oh,
Where are
at
they playing?
Pune.
Okay, Pune is quite a big ground, so probably, yeah, I think they're probably looking at that Sunrisers batting lineup not being one of the strongest. So they want to pile. Sorry, they bowling first. Are they
No, batting
bowling first?
first, KKR. Yeah, they
KKR
chose to bat first.
batting first. Yeah, so they probably want to pile those runs. I got a feel. I mean, I think if KKR can post around 180, 175, 180, probably would be enough against the Sunrisers
Yeah.
batting lineup at the moment. They looking
Yeah,
a bit
but
thin. The batting
beat
lineup is
us the
really,
last
really
time, if
looking
you can
thin.
remember, and that too pretty convincingly. So it's definitely a revenge match for us. Sunrisers win, then they're really back into contention. So yeah, man, the most imbalanced team.
Yeah, and look,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, if I look at Sunrise, there's only two players that really stand out for
Mm.
me. Is Tripathi and Markram. If you had to take those two players out, and obviously Puran to an extent, so
Mm.
three players. If you really had to take those three players out of the
Mm.
equation, there's not much in that
Mm.
tank, eh? It's pretty
Mm.
ordinary. So I think if they keep on taking wickets, they should be okay.
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna probably mention actually. Oh yeah, and I remember. I'm surprised the seniors haven't done well in this IPL because the pitches have been pretty good, hey? I think they're better than what they were in the UAE. I only hope that more venues are in the IPL next year, but this is my thinking. What do you think of the pitches? in general.
Look, I think the pitches have been good
Oh.
for bowling. I have to be honest; they've been really good for seam bowling, especially. We've seen a lot of wickets taken from seamers, and I think it's refreshing because I think it's gone by this a lot. But this year, the fast bowlers are also having their say, and I mean, if you look at guys like Malik, real tearaways, it's been great to see. So I think the pitches have been really good. Hey, the pitches have been really good. I think the form of some players have been really dodgy and poor. So I don't want to go too much into that. I think that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. No, I was just surprised because I think the pitches have been better than what they were in the UAE, unless you disagree with me.
Look, I'll be honest with you. The UAE pitches were quite good. Hey, I think Abu Dhabi and Dubai. I think Dubai is probably one of the best cricket wickets in the world, if not just in the IPL, but I think in the world. Dubai is a really good ground. I know RCB simply loves that ground. I think they've won quite a few matches at Dubai Stadium. I think the one pitch in the UAE that's really dodgy is Sharjah, because really a little bit of a dodgy pitch. You know, I think it's sort of a good pitch for a scrappy sort of affair. But if you really want a good, even balanced game, I think Dubai is one of the best pitches in the world, if not the best pitch in Asia at the moment. It's a really fantastic venue
even
to
Abu
play
Dhabi
cricket.
wasn't that bad.
Dubai, along with Wankhede in Mumbai, are probably two of the best.
Okay, that's interesting. Although the World Cup Charger played very well, so I think they were like hiding the best Charger pitches just for the World Cup. I know Gaurav Kapoor is making a bit of fun of Charger. Where was this Charger pitch hiding? Maybe they're keeping it for the World Cup, which proved to be true. Anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles. Any final words if we wrap up, or we sort it out?
I think we pretty much got this covered, Sid. I think it's time for you to go and make a cup of coffee and get ready for your day.
Yeah, man, it's starting in, well, they haven't said how many minutes, but it'll sorry, start in 24 minutes. I know probably Gaurav Kapoor must be chatting to some other people in Cricket Bus today, so check you on the other side.
Cheers. Chat to you soon. Take care.